But this is where we start. Buccaneers and Packers. You've always been a fan of Aaron Rodgers. You wrote a song for him. You've sung it for years now.
Yes.
Are you finally willing to admit that Tom Brady is the rightful GOAT and Aaron Rodgers now has to take second fiddle to the greatness that was Tom Brady? Because he has done it again for the first time in the NFC going to the Super Bowl.
Listen, he's amazing. I know, as usual, I know people think I'm a Brady hater, and I'm not. I'm really not.
Do I get sick of some Brady of the disliker?
Well, I get sick of some of the people that always just talk and just make it about Brady, 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 like nobody else has ever helped him ever before. And that's where I fight back. It's really against those people, not necessarily against Tom Brady. He's amazing. He's the GOAT. He's just not the best quarterback I've ever seen. I mean, he's the GOAT. Yeah, sure. If you want me to say that, he's the GOAT. He's got all the hardware. There's no doubt about it. But I've seen better quarterbacks, okay? I'm just going to say it. That's the way I feel about it. But either way, what he did this year and for this team is impressive. There's no denying that. And, he gave the team the confidence, what I said even in the show this morning, the confidence and the polish to get to this point where they are. And then I'll say this too. The way he came out playing early in the first quarter, for a team that hasn't been there or done that, he comes out throwing strikes. Mm-hmm. Now we can win. First drive. We got Tom Brady.
Third and long.
That's what I mean.
Got it. Third and long. Got it. Third and long.
Clutch.
3 third and longs.
3 third and longs. 3 awesome throws. All there. That sets the tone for your football team, right? So all those things are amazing. He's the clutchest quarterback I've ever seen. I've never seen a quarterback do it as good as he has that consistently for as long as we've seen. I don't debate that either. So there's that. That's all you're going to get from me.
On Brady,
well, because there always is. There always is. But there's some praise in this game too that we'll get into it. Where I hear like when I get done watching games yesterday, I turn on TV, and see this is what makes me into a Brady hater, Ahmed, because this is where I turn on talk shows and things, and people talk about like, he saved the day, and he was the man, and he was the reason they won, and he did it over Rodgers. And that's where then I become, wait, no, that's not reality. That's hot take right there, and I'm going to start talking to reality now as we break this game down.
So let me give you the line of Tom Brady. He was 20 of 36.
Right.
280 yards.
Yep.
3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, right? That's his line.
Yeah.
If you had told me a year ago that was the line of Jameis Winston,
sure,
I would have said, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Some big plays, a lot of yards, and some bonehead picks.
Yeah.
And what would we have been saying after the game? The Buccaneers are going to the Super Bowl despite Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
It's exactly what we'd be saying.
I know.
We would not be saying, he carried the team. If we saw that stat line in that exact game, really, if we saw that exact game from Jameis Winston, we'd be like, yeah, he makes some great plays, makes some dumb plays. Luckily, they got a good enough team that could make up for it.
But it's all the good plays and things he did in December, though, that put them in the position to at least be in the spot that I don't think Jameis Winston could have done.
That's
right.
Sure.
So that's where we'll argue for Brady, even though you're right. Yesterday, it was the tale of two halves, really. I mean, the first half was really damn good. The second half was not really damn good. And that's what we'll break into it. But either way, I do think the Bucs are here because of Brady, as we know. And yes, he didn't mismanage and make as many bad mistakes during the season as the Jameis Winston did. So they had a fight to be 8-8 or 7-9 or 9-7 or whatever it is. Yeah, he had a few slip-ups here and there, but he was, for the most part, consistent all the way through, and that led to the 11-5. And then, hey, let's get into the playoffs. And, okay, we didn't play our best game against Washington, but, hey, you still played good, and we played good, and we got a little bit better. Okay, we didn't play our best game against the Saints, but we still got good, you did good, and we got a little bit better, and then that leads you to this moment. And, yeah, it wasn't his best team day, but the team was ready for the moment, too.
So I want to get to the end of the game. But first, this one comes from Chubster82.
Right.
Said, what has Brady got to do for you to realize he's the greatest of all time? So from this point forward, what would he need to do for you to flip the script?
Well,
play till 50, win 5 more Super Bowls?
I don't know. Listen, I have so much respect. I really
get it.
Respect him, love him. I understand that. Who was our guy there that just asked
Chubster82.
Chubster82. I've seen him on my Twitter feed before and all that. I mean, Chubster, he's the GOAT, okay? But only from a hardware standpoint. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen play the game. I'm not. You're never going to hear that out of my mouth. And to me, let's just start right there. Yesterday is the microcosm of both of their careers. Here we go, okay? This really is. It almost says it all. I mean, here's Brady's third playoff game with 3 interceptions, and he wins them. All 3, he's won. He's thrown 3 interceptions in 3 playoff games. He's won.
First to ever do that.
First to ever do it.
NFL playoff history.
Aaron Rodgers is the first to ever lose 3 games with throwing 3 touchdown passes and 1 or less interceptions. So there you go with that. This is Brady's, at least his 4th Super Bowl appearance, okay? I'm on full Brady hater mode right now, so you can hear it. I'm just throwing, these aren't haters. These are stats, and this is reality. It's not hater when you're telling the truth, okay? It's his 4th championship game where he's been outplayed by the other team's quarterback, and he gets to go to the Super Bowl. You know, you talk about this game yesterday. You talk about Mahomes 2 years ago. Brady threw 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. They went to the Super Bowl. Talk about the Ravens. They beat the Ravens to go to play the Giants in 2011. This 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He gets to go play the Super Bowl. The Chargers, 2007 AFC Championship game. He throws 3 interceptions. They get to go to the Super Bowl. So, again, here was the game yesterday, and I know, I love Aaron Rodgers. Deal with it. I don't know what else to tell you. He's the best I've ever seen, all right, to this point. But here's one guy who had to play perfect. He couldn't play a 97 game or a 98 game. He had to play a 100 game for his team to maybe win the game. Here's another guy where the team is literally going, hey, if you just play your 80%, we're going to win. Oh, wait, you're playing a 65% game? Don't worry, we'll win anyways. And there's a difference there. So I don't know any other way to say it. I just wear my heart on my sleeve, and that's what jumps out to me more than anything. And watching the film back of the game, Ahmed, I feel even stronger and more emboldened to say that stuff right now.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone's going to argue that Brady has better weapons around him, better offensive weapons.
You think?
Devontae Adams had 15 targets. I mean, basically Aaron Rodgers has got
It's one guy.
him.
And he dropped a touchdown pass. That was a huge moment of the game, right?
So let's go to the end of the game first.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go
you lead
to
the show here.
To the big, well, I mean, I did not anticipate you getting that fired up. I knew you'd get fired up about Brady and Rodgers.
It's not about Brady and Rodgers. It's about the crap I hear on TV and radio everywhere. I can't take it. So, sorry.
Okay. All right. Everyone's on notice. If you're going to ask Chris about
It's not about Brady or Rodgers. I love them, but you just better not come with some stupid take with me, because then I'm going to throw real facts at you.
So what did you think about this take at the end of the game with LaFleur and the now controversial 4th and goal? So because I think you do have the 2 narratives. You have the Brady and the Rodgers, and Brady's done it again. You got that narrative, and then you have the other narrative that is LaFleur stole what could have been a great finish from us.
Well, okay, go ahead.
It was 3rd and goal. From the 8. Rodgers could have run it there, perhaps. There's some open grass. And if he does that, they probably do go for it on 4th down if it's 4th and 2. Even if he doesn't get in.
4th and 3, they're probably going to go. You're right.
Exactly. I think LaFleur even said that. 4th and 8 made it a difficult choice to go for it there. Because I will say, and to steal one of your phrases, I looked at the rule book. Rodgers could have scored 1st and goal from the 8, 2nd goal from the 8, or 3rd and goal from the 8.
Exactly
that is allowed to.
They were allowed to, right?
To not get to a 4th and goal from the 8. But what was your gut when they sent the field goal unit out there?
My gut is I didn't love it. I don't think, again, I'm not. I understand the logic a little. I get it. Their defense had been made turnovers, right? They had stopped the Bucs. But I think there's more to it than just that. First off, I think you have to go, wait, did we stop the Bucs, or did one guy just make some really stupid decisions and give us the ball? Yeah. And I would go, that was the first thing, because they didn't really stop him. They moved the ball down, and he just made some bad decisions. So that would be the first thing I would say. Second of all, there's just no guarantee you're going to get down there. You just went the 2 series before, and it was 3 and out, where you couldn't move the ball a lick against this defense. So now you're down there, you got to take your chance. All right, now, if you don't make it, okay, let's just say that. They're pinned back in their own area, still with just a 1-score lead. And they're going to have to manage the game in some sort of a safe fashion when you're backed up in your own end zone. They're not just going to be like, oh, let's go for it. No risk it, no biscuit. No, it's going to make them change, or at least I'd like to think it would. But at the very least, it's an 8-point lead, and there's a little more than 2 minutes, and you got Aaron Rodgers, and with all due respect, you got the GOAT on the other side, the guy who's got more rings and been in this damn situation more than anybody. Chances are he's going to close it out. Chances are. I would have bet money that when he got the ball back that they were going to get the first down and close it out. All right, so I guess that's where I got the issue with it.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
The gut was like, go for it.
Right.
This is the end of this is your season. You got Aaron Rodgers. You're right. The other team has Tom Brady, who can get a first down, and that's all they really needed. One or two first downs.
You back them up. Maybe you put more pressure on them by not making it too.
Yeah.
So now maybe they do run it all 3 downs, and you have the timeout, and now you get the ball back in pretty good field position, and maybe you have a chance again.
But you do look at the numbers, and I know you love looking at the analytics side of it. It was pretty even if they went by win probability and how often a team
was
gets.
It?
Yeah, it was.
I'm shocked,
how
actually.
often a team gets. Converts a 4th down and 8, because when you think about it, okay, they had to get a 4th and 8, right? 4th and goal there, which they weren't able to do the first 3.
No.
So what do they have? Like a 30% chance of getting that? Then you got to get the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
What do you got? Like a 50% chance of getting that? And even if you do both of those, you're still in a tie game.
Yeah.
And you're going to overtime, or Tom Brady has 2 minutes to drive down the field and get him into field goal range.
Right.
So even if everything goes right and you go for it, I'll bet you still the numbers favored Tampa to win that game.
What did the probability go to, though, once they made the field goal? I just wonder what it was like after. Like, where did it sway to at that point? And Pete's going to look it up. But I'm interested. Either way, listen, like I said, I don't look at it. I think
it wasn't like one of these things like, he robbed us of what. Like, it was just like we would have liked to have seen it, but it was defensible.
It was defensible. It is defensible.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it. I don't think you would have done it either.
No.
You go down swinging with your best punch, and that's Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
He's the guy that got you there. Now, listen, I know they had struggles. They got held to a field goal. We just mentioned that earlier in the game. Red zone wasn't easy for them necessarily. So I think there was that concern there too.
Which it had been this season. They were very good in the red zone.
Very good.
And you got to give credit to Tampa here, stopping them.
Tampa deserves a ton of credit. That's why I was going to say, like, people saying, LaFleur robbed us. No. LaFleur didn't rob us of anything right there. There was no. The Packers robbed us. The Packers robbed us in many different opportunities throughout that football game. They blew it in every play that was a 50-50 type play, okay? Tampa won it almost throughout the football game. Other than a few plays where Rodgers made plays. Other than that, it was Tampa's day across the board. And then, Tampa just being the bigger, more physical team, the team that lends itself to playing freer in this type of game and environment. Yeah, Bruce Arians type teams, it's like Andy Reid. They don't care. It's no risk it, no biscuit. We're coming out to make plays. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to throw our body around. The emotions of the game to me yesterday were very apparent that there was more of a physicality and a craziness to the Buccaneers than there was to the Packers, I thought, watching it. I don't know how you felt about it, but I thought they were clearly the bigger, more physical football team on the field, too, and that showed.
Well, they just have more playmakers.
That's really
and
what
I already
is.
mentioned on the offensive side, but you look at the defensive side, and White and David and Sue. It's just like more guys
Barrett,
who are
JPP.
Exactly.
We didn't even hear Zadarius Smith or Preston Smith yesterday. I literally got done with the show today, and I texted Pete. I said, just to speak to it, because we didn't get to hit everything on the game today, I just said, think about it. Their names weren't even talked about yesterday. They were not factors. They're supposed to be on the level of JPP and Shaq Barrett, and they were not. They were clearly outclassed in that department. But I think you said it. That's exactly right. It's a team that's got studs all over the field in Tampa Bay, and they made big plays and just played a game of no fear. Where I feel like they played they played to win, and the Packers kind of played a game not to lose overall.
Per PFF, and Pete put this note in there about Brady. He was pressured on just 5 of his 37 dropbacks, 13%.
Yeah.
He was 0 for 4 with an interception and a sack on those plays when he was pressured. So we talked about it in the Washington game.
Right.
Keeping him upright was going to be a
huge
priority.
Right.
They were able to do it then, able to do it in this game. So a lot of credit to the offensive line there.
No doubt. They're beasts.
Tampa.
They're beasts.
They are.
They can, and to even speak to that point even more, Ahmed, they're beasts. This is when you know a team's a beast, and this is when I like watching these kind of teams. They ran one run play the whole game. They ran 2 run plays. Excuse me. They had one play where they pulled a guard at one point. The rest of the game, they ran one play. They just said, "F you. We're just going to come straight and our guy's going to go straight.
Yeah.
And if you punch in too much, he'll bounce outside. But if there's a little hole, he's just going to smash it in there.
Which at the end of the game was a little curious because it was like setting up 2nd and 8.
I know.
Like
I know. But they were going to stay patient with it.
They did.
That's what they are. They want to run the ball, impose their physicality, and then Brady's going to make big throws, off of that with max protection, like you're saying, or play action pass or anything like that. So, But like, there's just so many major points to hit on in the football game. I don't even know. I'm like flabbergasted in my brain.
Let me go to when
end of the first half.
Let me go. No, let's not do that yet.
Yeah, okay.
We'll do that in a second because that one was I still don't understand what happened.
Nobody does.
Let's do end of the game once Brady gets the ball back.
Yeah.
A lot being made of defensive pass interference by King, Kevin King. I think we have a picture of it, Kristen, of the undershirt pull. And these are, I'll tell you what, is that like a normal undershirt, or are we talking like some Under Armour spandex?
Well, that's what kind of shirt. I mean, it's a long white T-shirt or a long, dry fit type of Nike shirt or whatever that is.
That's a super stretch.
This used to not be allowed in the NFL. You used to have to tuck in your undershirts. You weren't allowed to do this.
Maybe
they
it
let this
was.
go. You can see how Green Bay, nobody else has a shirt hanging out of their.
Yeah.
But no, they let this go this day and age.
Because it's so tempting to pull by the defender, and then once he pulls it, you can draw the penalty right there.
Well,
But that picture alone, it is.
Pass interference.
Was it catchable? I don't know. It's hard to say because once you alter receiver's route, it becomes. I don't think it was a well thrown ball. And you mentioned the same thing to me before we started.
No,
here.
it was uncatchable. The ball. I mean, he missed the throw. The ball. The guy was going this way.
If he's not interfered with, he doesn't catch that.
There's no way. There's absolutely no way. Brady missed the throw completely. But I have no problem with the call. I don't. Listen, in the game. All right. Well, this is my only problem with the throw. One little problem. It's just that, nothing was called all game. Nothing. I mean, nothing. They let them play. They weren't going to interfere in what was going on in the field. And then they picked that play to jump in?
Chris Purr says classic Tom Brady effect. Refs were allowing minimal contact like that all game, but throw the latest flag ever seen when the game is on the line.
It is very late, which is weird too. Like the guy in center field, you could see it on the coach's film. Ball hits the ground. He literally goes like this 3 times, waves incomplete, then grabs his flag and throws it. I've never really seen that. That was weird to me. Usually guys are already pulling at their thing and looking ready to throw, and they throw it, and then they run in and wave incomplete. That to me tells me he wasn't sure what to do, whatever it was. Either way, for even a game like this where they were letting things go, okay, I still think that was too egregious to not call it. I don't know. I know Pete. I don't know if Pete necessarily agrees with me. I don't know what you agree with me there. That's a tough one. But that was very because it was very egregious.
Well, Kristen, do you have those photos from earlier in the game too, where the Bucs defense are holding on here? So
so this bothers me.
The fact that this was on the interception right here.
This is the interception before the half.
Huge turning point in the game.
Right.
This might be the turning point. Honestly,
it could be
in the entire game.
Yes.
And that is pass interference. This is pass interference.
Yeah,
but
this is the third down, second last drive. He throws a crosser to Lazard, and I mean that was pretty bad too. He's gonna have room to run away from this guy if he doesn't get pulled like that. Either way, he should have caught the ball. Rodgers threw an unreal throw, and Lazard put his hands the wrong way. He put them this way instead of like this, and that was an issue. But yes, keep going, Amin.
I think, and then we have Devin White on Devontae Adams here, releasing into the end zone.
This is the third and goal where he's going to get the ball where Rodgers could have ran maybe, right?
Right.
Which, listen, just on this play, just so we hit on that, third and goal. Rodgers, if he ran up into the hole here on this play and just right away said, I'm going to run it.
Kristen, I think we have the dots for this play.
Do we have the dots?
Yeah, for the Rodgers third
go
and goal.
To that. Yeah, let's hit it.
Because you made a good point on this,
Well, I think if he's like, if he started to run and just tucked it right away and ran, yes, I think he might have scored. But as he's moving up here, and this is where, we can't see all the details here, he's still looking and pumping downfield. So, okay, pump. Now he throws it. Like, the fact that he was pumping and doing all that, and then if he tried to tuck it and run, I don't think he gets in. I don't. I think Sue is going to get him from behind, who's hit full speed, and I think JPP is going to be right there around the 2 or 3 yard line, too, to get him. It's going to be close. Like I said, I think if he right from the get-go went, wait, I'm stepping up, I'm tucking, and I'm running. Okay, I think maybe he gets. But that's not the way he plays. It's like, it's Mahomes, it's Rodgers. They move up in the pocket and they try to beat you with their arm first. And then, oh, wait, nothing's there. And then I'm going to run. And I think after he got done, doing this and this, and then he thought, oh, maybe I should run. I think he realized, oh, crap, I'm not going to make it. So let me try to throw a quick one in there.
Yeah.
And that was that.
Yeah, if he had run, he would have gotten at least a couple of yards.
Yes.
They'd probably go for it,
right.
is the point there. But to button up the other point,
yes, let's go back to it.
On the pass interferences,
right.
like I would be more upset if I was a Packer fans on all the pass interferences that were not caught instead of the one that are called, instead of the one that was called. You know what I mean? It's like that. I'm sorry. Pass interference is pass interference. Just because it wasn't called earlier in the game, it still was. Kevin King's pulling on the jersey. I'm sorry. That's pass interference.
I agree.
Now, I am upset that we didn't get some of those calls earlier in the game.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
I'm more upset about that than I am about the final.
I agree with that, too. And listen, if you had to just say who got the short stick of all that stuff, I would say Green Bay, obviously. Yeah. I think there was more plays on Green Bay's offense where you went and got, oh, that looked like they were holding him there. I mean, we just showed a handful, and there's a few others. But the big one, okay, so we both have agreed that we're okay with that being called. It was egregious.
Correct.
That Kevin King reached like that. Yeah, sorry, the guy had a long T-shirt on, and that exposed it even more. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, very stretchy T-shirt.
Right, but either way, that was egregious, and I have no problem with that being called. But I think the point is it's a little annoying because the game wasn't called that way, and there was probably one or two egregious ones on Tampa Bay that were not called. And specifically, let's go back to the first picture of the interception throw to Murphy Bunting, because that was a huge moment in the game.
Yep.
It's 14-10, all right? Rodgers throws this ball in the fourth quarter down the middle on the same coverage. The same coverage, and hits, I believe it was, I want to say Valdez-Scantling down the middle, maybe a little later on in the game. But, you see this right here. And this is, if you're watching, Murphy Bunting at this point he's already pulling himself into the coverage spot. Before this, his arm was even extended and he was trailing even more. He was beat. So this is him now. I've pulled the guy back and allowed myself to make a break on the ball. That's where it's bad. And that's where, like, if you're Aaron Rodgers or a Green Bay fan, you wake up this morning and you probably throw up in the toilet because you feel like you got ripped off. So you have that right there.
Where if you complete that pass, you're at the 50-yard line.
And there
you got 30 seconds left.
Might
you
get a
field goal.
14-13 halftime. Right, exactly right. But either way, the double whammy was that it got intercepted. Lazard couldn't even make a play on the ball because he was pulled off. So he couldn't even try to break it up because he was pulled off balance. But then, of course, we know what happens after that. It becomes first, second down, third down. No. We're going to punt the ball. Oh, wait, we're going to come back out.
Which was a great call, which I think we need to give them a lot of credit, Tampa Bay, because they had pulled Tom off the field.
Great call.
They were going to punt because there were, 8 seconds left?
Yeah, 8 seconds left. So it was a great call. Well, it was 8 seconds going into the last play where he throws the touchdown.
Yep.
So, but they have the 4th and 4, all right?
Yeah.
I want to back it up to a play before because it's another example of Green Bay shitting down their leg, all right? Brady throws an interception on the right sideline. The safety, it's second down. It's third down, excuse me. It hits him in both hands. He's got 4 feet of room. The half's over right there. Instead, he missed it, the easiest interception of his year. They convert the 4th down, and then the next play, Green Bay decides to call the dumbest defense in the history of conference championship football.
So that brings us to our film deep dive presented by Applebee's. Chris calls it the dumbest what? The dumbest
defense in conference championship history. I mean,
Chris has gone through he's a historian. We all know this. You remember a lot of
pretty
plays.
good.
You really
right,
do.
Right.
So if you're calling this the dumbest defense ever, I tend to believe you. So here's the situation. You got 8 seconds left. It is 4th down on this one. You figure if you don't get it, and this is why I thought it was genius.
Right.
Wow, if you don't give it, you give the Packers a chance. Well, yeah, with 3 seconds from the 50.
Right, exactly right.
It's like what are they going to do there?
Not a big. It's the reward is worth the risk. There is what you're telling Bruce Arians, which I agree with you 100%.
But here to set it up even more.
Right.
Tampa has no timeouts anymore.
Right.
So the idea that they're going to throw a 5 or 10 yard pass and call timeout and set up a 50-something yard field goal, you can't do it. you'd have to throw it to the sidelines, which, by the way, the formation, they were all bunched in, so there was no way they were going to get to the sideline in time anyway.
Exactly right.
So, yeah, take us through the play.
They get the 4th and 4 conversion. They call the timeout, right? Leonard Fournette. Great play by Brady. Gets it off, has a little pressure, throws it. Fournette kind of in between two guys, catches it and rolls. First down.
Right.
Now we got the play, right? 8 seconds left. You said it. There's no timeouts. This is where I don't understand Green Bay's thought process at all. So I guess they're playing a defense to take away the middle of the field a little bit. But why? Like you just said it.
No timeouts.
If they throw a 6-yard completion over the middle, the half's over. The half is over. Now, what's the one thing you don't want to happen? All right? And
what happened?
Don't play. Well, yeah, and don't play it yet. But don't play it yet. But this, if you look at this right here, this is a defense, which this is what's the weirdest part about it all. It's a defense that allows an offense to throw a ball outside and stop the clock. That's what I don't understand. They literally played a defense like, hey, did you guys want 5 more yards to throw it out of bounds and get better field goal position? Sure, we'll let you do that. But, I mean, Brady must have dropped back. Arians just said, the hell with it, take a shot, because they ran go routes on both sides. And he's got Mike Evans on the right side if he wanted to throw it to him. Now play it, Pete. He drops back. They keep in Gronk to max protect. They keep Fournette in, max protect. I don't know. I guess Kevin King was anticipating some sort of out route to do that. Either way, great. Let him throw the out route. I don't know. We don't give up touchdowns to not give up 8-yard completions. I don't understand that. So the play was wrong. The messaging that you send to your defense with the defensive play call is wrong. And that to me was one of the, confusing moments of the game. And there's a number of moments with Green Bay, player-wise, coach-wise, whatever you want to say, where you just go, I don't understand what they're doing there. Why would you play that defense in that moment? It makes no sense in any capacity as far as managing that situation.
Makes no sense. 39-yard touchdown, 21-10 at the half.
Huge, great
And
throw.
then you go into the second half.
Yeah.
And what is it, third play?
Yes.
It was the, third
Shallow
play of the
cross.
second half.
Right.
Jordan Whitehead, big hit on Aaron Jones, who took a couple of big hits in the game.
He did, both from Jordan Whitehead.
Yeah, and I think he fumbled both of them.
Right.
And I felt bad for him. I was like, you got to hold on to the ball, but I don't think any human could have held on to the ball in either one of those situations. Devin White recovers. First play after, you got an 8-yard touchdown to Cameron Brate. Boom.
Trouble.
It is 28-10, but that is also the point where this idea of momentum died as well, because everything indicated from that point, it's like, wow, the Bucs have the lead, they have the momentum, but everything from that point forward for another quarter and a half was all Green Bay.
It was.
It was really impressive by the Packers offense. Aaron Rodgers kicked it into gear. They go through 8-play, 75-yard drive to score with the 8-yard Tunyon. It was the point in the game where it was like, wow, this game is over. And that is exactly the point where the Packers looked like the Packers.
No doubt. It's like they kind of just get, okay, let's play to win. They stopped trying to manage the game or whatever. They just got aggressive and stopped hey, let's just throw it all at them and let number 12 drop back and throw the ball and make some plays. And I think that's where they did get their momentum, let alone, just like at everything. It's a weird situation in the football world. When you go up 28-10, two things happen. Defensive coordinators go a little bit I don't want to take too many chances. And offensive coordinators go, we're going to lose, so I'm just going to call every play that I like. I don't care. It's first down. We're attacking. The hell with that run play I was going to run. Off, whatever. Throw it. And so it's like a double whammy on both sides. And, they found tremendous rhythm on that side of the ball. It wasn't easy. Even the next series, it was a 13-play drive, 68-yard drive.
Yeah.
But, it was good enough protection, and they just ran a lot of different concepts and things like that, and Rodgers got, going into a rhythm, like you said. But what happened is they make it 28-23. They get the ball 2 times, down 28-23. And really, the biggest thing I can say is, the Bucs had a good game plan, like on the Aaron Jones fumble, right, that you talk about at the half. They were ready for those pick crossers all game. They weren't going to let Rodgers and them. They showed 2-man, right? 2-man. The safeties will be deep. It's man underneath. Rodgers is smart. He gets the plays. And okay, we'll pick underneath, and I'll throw one of those, and we'll get a 3rd and 6 and get 7 or 8 yards for a first down, right? Well, they made it seem like 2-man, but they came down and just looked for the crossers and those. It's like they knew Green Bay would go to those plays, and that led to the Whitehead hit and doing all of that, the big plays for their team altogether. But the big thing was, Ahmed, just to wrap it up on this side of the ball, the Bucs D-line they dominated the fourth quarter for the most part, and especially those 2 series where the Packers had a chance to have the ball and go take a lead. The Bucs D line made a play in every one of those series to kind of throw the drives off kilter. And, and then, of course, Brady and them got the ball back and kicked the field goal and then really put the pressure on them at the end.
So let me button that up.
Yeah.
That was the Film Deep Dive presented by Applebee's. And on the touchdown at the end of the first half, there's so much that happened. I'm like, my brain can't handle all the things that happen in this game.
Listen, let me just.
The more we get into it, the more I'm like, wow, we have to get into this part of the game too. It's like there's so much.
There's so many things. I mean, there's why are we playing so much man-to-man on the first drive of the game early on in the game? Kevin King, what's he doing playing the ball on the first touchdown? That was unbelievable. I mean, you have that aspect of it. You have how things shook out at the end of the first half. You're right about that. The fumble, at the start of the third quarter, the mismanagement at the end of the football game and stuff like that with Matt LaFleur and all of that. But really on the field, though, and every big moment like we talked about, the Bucs made the play for the most part.
Yeah.
They really did.
So let me throw this one at you. Caleb Beard says, why weren't the pass concepts getting open consistently for the Packers? Because there were times after Tom Brady throws the interception, you go, Aaron Rodgers got the ball after a pick.
Right.
They didn't convert. There were some times, I think they had, 2 possessions late where they could have gone ahead on either one of them, and they did not.
Right.
So Caleb Beard wants to know what the Bucs did there to stymie the Packers, because they were without 2 of their safeties, 2 of their starting safeties.
They played very good man-to-man coverage throughout. They did a really good job. There's no doubt about that. The biggest thing is, like I kind of laid it out there, though. It's the pass rush.
Yeah.
Those 2 drives you're talking about, okay? It's 28-23. Green Bay gets the ball. First down, he throws an incomplete pass to Davante Adams. Second down, he throws the ball to Jamal Williams for 5 yards. Third down, he's got no chance. He gets sacked by Shaq Barrett, who runs over the right tackle. End of drive. It had nothing to do with coverage or anything there. It's just, it doesn't matter. You're going down when you get pressured like that. So there goes that drive. Tampa Bay goes Brady throws the interception. And then we have Rodgers sacked at the Green Bay 24 for 0 yards. Rodgers incomplete deep right to Valdez-Scantling. And then Rodgers incomplete short to Allen Lazard, right? And even the sack at I don't remember which play that was, but pass rush was part of the issue there too, is what I was getting to. One of those was a play-action pass where he's got Davante Adams deep and Valdez-Scantling coming on a crossing route. And the ball that he was throwing it, and it got tipped in the air just as he was throwing. Do you remember that? In the early fourth quarter, it fell into no man's land. Nobody got it or anything like that. I mean, he's got Valdez-Scantling wide open for a 25-yard completion. I mean, wide. But the pass rush got there, and he didn't allow him to throw the ball cleanly.
Let's throw a damn out there for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers while we're heaping praise on them. Kristen, do we have the music? I always like a little musical interlude in Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Damn. Okay. I'm okay. Damn. I'm okay. Yeah, no, yes, I'm okay. The legal gambleizing. Oh, baby. I am Chris Simms. I'm okay. Damn. Okay.
We needed that to take a deep breath here. This one comes from Mehmet305, and he's talking about my guy. Bowls in this house. There's Todd Bowles in this house. There's Todd Bowles in this house. Certified freak.
Yeah.
7 days a week, at least on Sundays, for Todd Bowles here. Defensive coordinator for the Bucs. He goes that his defense came ready for battle, especially after the Brady turnovers. They reached another level, which it is. They gave up 6 points off those 3 turnovers. Conversely, Tampa scored 14 off a couple turnovers for Green Bay. They had better field position when they got those turnovers, though. But you give some credit to Todd Bowles because it was a little more, they were getting the pressure. They didn't need to be necessarily as aggressive with it because they were able to get it naturally
with the front four.
Individual play of the front four. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, but that was, to me, the approach was just right. Like, hey, my front four is good. I'm going to let them do a lot of work, and I'm just going to throw a splash of a fifth blitzer in there every now and then. And it was the right combination for what they were trying to do. I think overall he had a pretty good feel for how Green Bay was trying to attack him. And I think the thing I'll give him most credit for is, let his guys play. He trusted his DBs. They played a lot of man-to-man in the football game. And he went, I trust you. Here we go. Of course, that's what led to Valdez-Scantling catching a 50-yard touchdown pass and things like that. But okay, like we talk about, you can't take away everything. The other team's got players too. They're going to make some plays. But overall, I thought his approach on the defensive side of the ball was the right approach. He let his front four do the work. He didn't give Rodgers and company too many easy zone completions. Oh, you can just pick us apart. And he put some pressure on his DBs, and his DBs answered the bell for sure.
And so for the first time ever, I don't know if you've heard this, a team will be playing in its home stadium.
Yo ho, the Pirates' life for me.
So we have to finish this with the talk of Aaron Rodgers in the future in Green Bay, because he seemed despondent afterwards. And why wouldn't he be? He just lost a huge game against Tom Brady, a game where he felt like he probably played pretty well, but some unfortunate circumstances, you're going home. And you did not reach the Super Bowl. You lost in the championship game once again. What's your gut telling you on how this works out, at least next year? Do you think Aaron Rodgers is a Green Bay Packer when next season begins?
I don't think it's a definite. I mean, if you made me bet one or the other, I would probably say yes. But I don't know. I just feel like there's trouble brewing. I do.
Let's take a listen
about
to exactly
I got some more
what
things
he
I want to say.
What he said after the game yesterday.
So how do you go on from here? I mean, you kind of hit on some of the realities a minute ago. So how do you go on from here? How do you take the next step?
Yeah, Bill, it's a good question. I don't know. I really don't. There's a lot of unknowns going into this offseason now. And I'm going to have to take some time away for sure and clear my head and just kind of see what's going on with everything. But it's pretty tough right now, especially thinking about the guys that may or may not be here next year. There's always change. That's the only constant in this business.
He was ready to say that. He wanted. You could kind of tell he wanted to talk about his future, and he wanted to kind of make it seem uncertain, which I think it is here.
I don't doubt it. I mean, he's out of this world smart. Like a lot of the good quarterbacks are. He's a thinker.
Does he have reason to be upset with what they did with Jordan Love?
What? I mean, to me, yesterday epitomizes all of it. It's him carrying the squad, team doing nothing for him as usual.
But in their defense,
right?
He goes, "You just had an MVP season. You didn't need another wide receiver."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, great. You got an MVP season. You guys are just leaving Super Bowl trophies out there for everybody else to have, though. So, it's the dumbest crap ever. Really, I don't know what else to say. First off, he's heartbroken. His soul's broken. He's very smart. He realizes the scope of what everybody's talking about today. We just talked about it. Brady's awesome. Rodgers sucks. That's all everybody's going to say, which is just a bunch of bullcrap, as we know. He severely outplayed Tom Brady in the football game. Yeah, there's no other way to say that. He did, but he's going to lose once again. And here it is. What is this? His fifth championship game loss, right? He's only been in one championship game, and I'll say it every time, where he's been on the better team, and that was the one he won. I mean, there's been no other championship game where his team is even in the class of the other team they're playing. This one was probably the closest.
Oh, okay.
And
Kyle Wilson says the number 5 seed in the conference is a better team than the number 1 seed.
Yeah, I know. I've been saying that for a long time. Yeah. I mean. Listen, you can go
back.
That
can go on the road and win where they won.
Yeah.
In the postseason.
You can go back to week 6 or 7. I mean, Pete'll back me up. I was saying then, man, when the Bucs play good, they look like they might be the best team in football. I mean, you just said the skill positions.
Yep.
It's not even close. It's not even close. I heard somebody in the pregame go, Green Bay might have as good a skill position guys as Tampa Bay. I turned it off at that moment and said, I'll be back during kickoff.
Yeah.
Because I just said, I can't watch that. That's the dumbest comment ever.
Did you turn your dad back on, though? Or
No,
did you just
that
leave
was
him
it
off
was the
the
other
rest of
channel.
time?
Sorry. But yeah, I mean, that's insane. So, okay. Where do you want? I don't even know what to say. He's so sick of the organization letting him down. And he's probably at a point of just going, I'm just sick of supporting them and they don't support me. He's looking at Brady with all the weapons. He's looking at Mahomes with all the weapons. And they drafted nothing to help them out in this football game. They're in the Super Bowl window. The day of, we're going to draft a quarterback for the future and let him mature, that is over. Sorry, that is so 1988. It's disgusting. Get out of here. We're seeing young quarterbacks all over the place in the playoffs this year. They're everywhere. We don't have to let them mature for anything anymore. That's dumb. You wasted assets while you had a guy and you were in the Super Bowl window, and they didn't go for it. That's where I think if they have an owner in Green Bay, things are different. The owner is going to go, wait, we got a diamond here. We got to put some other jewels around him here. We can't just let him be a diamond in the middle of a haystack.
Yeah. So here, the two picks they traded away were the 30th and 136th.
Man, they could have used a corner last night.
So guess what? A corner was taken with the 30th pick.
Right, and all the good corners after it, too.
So the Miami Dolphins took Noah Igbenogany out of Illinois.
Out of Auburn.
Auburn. He was out of Auburn, that's right. He was okay.
Yeah.
He wasn't anything special.
No.
The 136th pick, that ended up going to the Rams. They took tight end Bryson Hopkins, who played only 2 offensive snaps, so it really wouldn't have helped him. Wouldn't have helped him at all.
There was a lot of good corners on the board.
There were.
There was a lot of good
Chase
wide receivers
Claypool
on the
was
board.
still out there.
There was a lot of good defensive tackles on the board.
Yeah.
But either way, I don't know what else to say. But I would imagine that's the way he feels a little bit. And what point? So like, let me ask you this, and like your honest answer. Like if you're an Aaron Rodgers, at what point do you go, wait, okay, they drafted a quarterback. They're gonna get rid of me at some point.
Right.
So why don't I just kind of tell them when I'm ready to get rid of? Like is he just gonna sit back and be like, hey, you guys just let me know when you're gonna me over, and then we'll talk a little more. Or maybe he just goes, no, I'll control the situation.
What if Green Bay did this?
Yeah.
What if they traded Jordan Love? Not unheard of.
It's not.
Josh Rosen got traded a year after. Of course, he played, but
like, what are you going to trade him for?
like,
right now?
but like his stock for Jordan Love, like Josh Rosen's stock went down, right after a year where it wasn't very good.
But he got to play a little at least too.
Well, yeah, but it caused his stock to go down. Jordan Love,
you're not going to
like his stock has. Why would it have gone down?
I know, but he was a lightning rod of a pick, anyways. I think there's a lot of people that didn't like him in the draft either. I was one that liked him. I think there's a lot that don't. We'll see. It's 50-50 on that. He's not going to get a trade market at this point.
Why?
Because
he could.
I don't think he's going to get anything special. We drafted a first-round pick, and here you go. Here's our first-round pick for what? A fourth rounder, a third rounder? I just don't think that's going to fly.
Why would his value go down that? Because if Green Bay didn't trade up to get him last year,
right.
where do you think he realistically would have gone? Second round somewhere around there? No?
No, yeah, I think probably would have gone. If Green Bay doesn't trade for, yes, I think somewhere in the second round he gets drafted. Yes.
So I don't know why he would.
Because we didn't get to see preseason.
Well, yeah.
Or we're going to trade.
He had
a
year learning under Aaron Rodgers.
You're going to trade for him to be your backup, or what? I mean, that's what I just.
I'm just saying, if you're a team that there's some good quarterbacks out there. If there's a team that misses out on one of the good quarterbacks this year, and the Green Bay Packers say we want to trade you Jordan Love for a second-round pick. Maybe you do it.
I mean, sure. I just don't think there's going to be a team that's going to say that. I don't.
Because it would be a reversal of why did you trade up to get him then?
Well, it'd
right?
be
You
that,
obviously
and
saw
I think there's going to be. I think he's a guy that's very raw, and he's looked at as a project too.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to command it. He wasn't a top 10 pick like Josh Rosen either, and of course. They weren't looking to draft another guy to replace him anyways either way. I don't listen. I don't know. Hey, listen, if they could do that, that'd be great. That'd be all good. It still doesn't make up that nothing from last year's draft helped them win this game yesterday.
Okay.
And that's what he's probably sick of. Nor did anything in free agency help him either. And I'm sure he's sick of that. And then yet he sees Brady, who had a team of all-stars around him. They signed Antonio Brown halfway through the year. He was probably like, what? He's got all-stars. Now they're going to give him another one? So I'm sure he's just annoyed by all of that. Rodgers can go away right now and just go, man, the team has failed me repeatedly. repeatedly, whether it's play on the field, decisions by coaches, draft picks, whatever. And I think that's probably what's stewing in his brain, his soul, and everything today.
So they lose, and now we have to bury them. We have to bury them in the ground because their season is
bury my little Aaron
That's true.
Rodgers.
All right, well, we'll keep him above ground. Okay. But the team is buried now. It is time for Requiem for a Team, Green Bay Packers edition. Here lie the Green Bay Packers, a team that plays in such a weak division, by the way, that they should consider scheduling some tougher non-conference opponents so that they're prepared when they get into the playoffs, right? It's like a college team.
Right, got to play the Lions twice a year.
Exactly, that's not a good tune-up for when we have to take on Tom Brady. All right, an ending we all did hate. Aaron Rodgers not allowed to create. But Packer fans, don't shed a tear. You have nothing to fear. I'm sure Jordan Love will be great. I'm sure he's going to be good.
I like it.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Goodbye, Green Bay.
Or he'll be traded. Who knows?
Well done.
Who knows?
Well
All right.
done.
So it's sad that we have to bury the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers, but they'll be back. Maybe not together, but they'll be back.
I hope we broke that game down good.
I don't know. I think we did.
We did everything there. I know I was emotional about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. I get emotional. You know that about a lot of. But I will just say this to end it, and let's move on to the other game. Pete's going, no. I wear my heart on my sleeve just about all facets of my life. But I don't think I was ever as hurt for an athlete as I was for Aaron Rodgers last night.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think ever. I don't think ever after a sporting event or anything did I ever walk away going, man.
You were an athlete. Did you feel it as though you had lost?
You know what's funny? I told my dad on the phone last night, I said, I feel like that's about as crushed as I've been watching a football game since I've watched you play. Like, that's the way I felt. Wow. I always feel for those guys, those kind of guys. You know, listen, I felt like that for Brady when they lost the 2007 Super Bowl to the Giants. I just went, man, he was just this close. He played this amazing year. He was great in the Super Bowl against a good defense. And, I always feel for those guys and those moments and things like that. And I just get so sick of the constant negative narrative around Aaron Rodgers at times. It just bothers me. So I felt for him last night.
Aaron Rodgers, still some drama there. Hopefully he can come back, maybe with the Green Bay Packers. We will see.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.